All right, everybody, Samori Benjamin here before a huge Game 3 National League Championship Series, Mets and Dodgers. I'm here with a Met legend, John Franco, four-time All-Star. John, thank you so much. Great meeting you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, so we're here, October baseball, Mets first time in the postseason in 8 seasons. So what's it feel like to be out here in this ballpark right now?
It feels great. You know, the whole last September was great because leading up to the playoffs, and then the Mets get to play against Atlanta, then playing against Milwaukee, playing against Philly. I think nobody in the city, or maybe nobody in baseball, expected the Mets to be here, and that's a tribute to the team. Those guys played hard all season long, never say die attitude, great leadership by their manager Carlos Mendoza, and you just got to tip your hat to them because they play hard every day.
Yes, you're right. I know a lot of people in the media all season earlier this year did not expect the Mets to be right here, so really hats off to them. Now, you're from New York, you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, growing up, were you a fan of one of the two teams?
I grew up a Met fan, so
Met fan, okay.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to play for the Mets and root for the Mets, be team captain. So very fortunate to play here for 15 years.
So you were young when they won their first World Series in '69. So what do you remember about that?
I remember every player on that team. I remember Tug McGraw, Tom Seaver. Tug McGraw was one of my favorite players. Tom Seaver. Tommy Age, I mean, I could name them all. Just watching them, and again, that team was the underdog against the big, strong Baltimore Orioles. And the Mets came through. They had their pitching, did a great job, and they got some timely hitting.
Yeah, and of course, 4 years later, 73 World Series, and I talk about how right now there's not a lot of ball players from New York City who I see in the major league. So you did that. Just coming up in Brooklyn and New York City, what was it like just playing baseball here?
It was great. It was great. I grew up, I played at Lafayette High School, went on to St. John's, and got drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I had a little special place in my heart for the Dodgers because they gave me an opportunity, but not tonight. There's no place in my heart for the Dodgers. I have a place in my heart after the Mets beat them. But it was great playing here in New York, and then, like I said, getting an opportunity to play at home in front of my friends and family. Doing it for 15 years. My kids grew up, my son grew up in a locker room, just born into the Met family.
Yeah, and Dodgers drafted you. I know you made your debut with the Cincinnati Reds, and you made the All-Star team there about 3 different times. So what was it like for you to get traded there, debut there, and that run there?
It was great. Cincinnati was a perfect place for me to start my career. It was a great baseball town. I had Pete Rose as my manager, was even better, and I had a bunch of great teammates there. So for me, I thought it was the best 6 years for me to get ready to play here in New York. Even though we used to come in twice a year to play the Mets, I still knew what to expect. Met fans are the best knowledgeable fans. They love their baseball, and they're going to let you know when you do well, and they're going to let you know when you do bad.
Yeah, what was it like playing for Pete Rose?
Pete Rose is great. Pete had 2 rules: play hard and be on time, and that's all he wanted you to do.
No doubt about it. And so you get traded here to the Mets in 1990. So, and then you had a long run with the Mets. But what was it like just to be able to get traded home at that time?
It was great. It was great playing home, like I said, in front of my friends and family. Again, I spent a lot of time with my family. I didn't have to uproot my family, and driving to the ballpark every day was good. There were some days when you had a rough outing, but you have to turn the page and know that you're going to have better outings, good outings than bad outings.
You know what? I just want to ask you a question real quick about St. John's. How did you end up choosing St. John's, and what was that experience like?
I wound up at St. John's because I played some travel ball with some friends of mine, and they were they were a year older than me, so they were at St. John's playing baseball, and they mentioned it to their coach, come see me. Coach Russo came to see me. I wound up pitching a 1-hit shutout, and right after that game, he offered me a scholarship to St. John's.
Nice. And of course, at the same time, early 80s, you had the basketball going there a little bit. Were you much of a basketball fan growing up?
Yeah, Chris Smuller's my guy. Bill Whittington, Willie Glass. I knew all those guys. But Walter Berry. Those guys were great. Mark Jackson. I mean, I watched him. Lou Conasec is a very special guy to me.
Awesome. Yeah, I got the chance to interview Bill Whittington last season, and I saw Chris Mullin here last week. So now everybody, of course, excited about the possibility of a Subway Series and all that, Mets and Yankees, and it only happened one time. You, of course, were a part of that, but before that, 1999, you were here all those years, your first time in the postseason period, and with the Mets, of course. What was that moment like?
It was great. I mean, I played 17 years before I got into the playoffs, so that was a great moment for me. get in there in the playoffs, and then '99, then in 2000 to even go a step further, get into the playoffs, into the World Series, and I got the only win in that World Series. So it was something special. Hopefully, if it happens this year, the results will be a little different.
You know, and so I grew up in this town, a big baseball fan, but at the time, I was away at undergraduate school in Virginia, so I was not able to experience the feel of the city. But what do you remember the feel of the city being like at that time?
It was great. Met fans, Yankee fans, the electricity in the air, the atmosphere in the air, the atmosphere in the city. The city kind of shut down. All your bars were crowded. Met fans, Yankee fans, and everybody handled themselves great. It was a great atmosphere and great for both organizations.
There's three more for you. So just this possibility of the Subway Series and all that, just what do you think, before that, first things first, Dodgers, what do you think the Mets have to do to win this series?
Well, they have to get some timely pitching, timely hitting, and avoid the big innings. The Dodgers got a good lineup, a deep lineup. The Mets lineup has been very consistent the last 6-7 weeks now. So I think it all comes down to pitching. If your pitching stays strong and stay consistent, we'll have a chance to win.
And who's the most talented player that you've ever played with?
That's a good question. I played with a lot of great talented players. Darryl Strawberry, Eric Davis. Those guys at the top of my head right now.
And last one for you. Just how excited are you just to be a part of this and just see this story unfold?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the organization to be here, especially the Met fans are very excited to come out here. It's going to be a cold night, but it'll be very warm here in the stadium. It'll be a packed house.
All right, folks. Mets legend, four-time All-Star, John Franco. John, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You got it. Good to see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, folks. We're back.